Brian Cashman, who joins us now. Brian, always good to have you on the show. Can you take us inside that meeting that you had with him and his people in Los Angeles and shed some light on maybe the sales pitch and the feedback that you got from Tanaka?
Yeah, well, they had it at a home in Beverly Hills, so it was an off-property situation. We took 8 people out there. It was Joe Girardi, our pitching coach, Larry Rothschild, Randy Levine, our team president, our 2 assistant general managers, Gene Afterman and Billy Epler, myself, George Rose, who was our everything about Japan. He was an interpreter here, and he's worked in Japan for us, and he runs all Japanese circumstances for us, as well as Trey Hillman, who we had just signed on, and he had managed the championship team over there for the Nippon Ham Fighters, and as well as worked for the Yankees. So we brought a big entourage because it was explained to us it was the only chance for us to really put forth the face of the franchise and what we're about, and because he was going to do a one-hit 2-day stint in Los Angeles, take a physical, and go back to Japan, so it wouldn't interrupt his his workouts. We brought a video that we prepared like we had done in previous free agent courting circumstances with Teixeira and McCann and CC Sabathia. In that video, we had Matsui speak directly to Tanaka. So it was an educational video about the Yankees, the history of the Yankees, and where we felt we could go with him. Provided another separate video, was more of an MTV-type cribs circumstance where we're, presenting, all the amenities of the Yankee clubhouse and the weight room and the massage therapy and the pool hydrotherapy section that we have, everything that this facility provides and what we try to do from a travel work product standpoint. And we had a lot of dialogue, but it was only a 2-hour meeting, and then we were after a club and we were before another club, so they were running clubs in and out of there for a 2-day period.
Hey, Brian, spending that kind of money is always a risk on any free agent, but it seems like it's really exacerbated when it's a guy who's never pitched in the major leagues before. Plus the fact that players coming from Japan, the ball is different. They're pitching once every 5 days instead of once a week. The food is different. The travel's different. What gives you the sense that with Tanaka that he can make all these adjustments and perform at a high level? And the other thing is, of course, the biggest adjustment is facing major league hitters.
There's a lot of variables that you have to try to work through. No doubt, it's a different game over in Japan. They have a lot of talent, but the game itself is different. The starting pitchers have a different workload. They pitch once a week, meaning once every 7 days rather than once every 5. As you said, the ball in Japan is different than the ball in the States. The lineups are different in Japan versus lineups are in the States. The strike zone is different in Japan versus the strike zone in the States. So we set out to extensively close the gap on educating ourselves on putting the best assessment on the player and how it would translate. And how did we do that? We've been scouting him since 2007. We did scout him extensively during the WBC 2009, where it's the first time he was able to throw with a Major League ball, because at WBC they used the Major League Baseball. We were at every one of his home games in Japan this year, so we were told early in the process, like all clubs were, that he might be posted before this 2014 season. So we met in March and decided how we were going to go about this to try to close that gap. And at some point, though, you have to take educated guesses. We tried to close the gap on the guesswork as we assessed the player, but we went about it in a systematic way to try to put ourselves in the best position to do so.
Brian, you've had a lot of moves going both ways, really, losing Robinson Cano and a couple of big pitchers to retirement and bringing in a lot of talent. How much better do you think the Yankees are right now than you guys were at the end of last season, and are you done?
I think we're, without question, a better team because we're getting healthy guys back, and we've certainly added a lot of talent as well, significant talent. So, compared to what 2013 was or became compared to what we have a chance to be in the front end of 2014, it should be a significant difference, we think, and it needs to be. So we've lost some great players in Robbie Cano and the retirement of Andy Pettit and Mariano Rivera, but we've added, as you said, some significant players to fortify us. So we're hoping when the dust settles, we're in a much better place consistently than we were at any point last year.
Brian, you had a goal of reaching under the $189 million payroll threshold. That's dead now. That's not happening with the signing. I'm wondering now, do you just blow past that? There's obvious guys available, particularly in the bullpen, where you do have some holes there. Do you just keep going now and look for more deals?
No, I think that we're always going to need to we always have to try to improve and look to improve, but I think realistically we're going to have to do it in a much cheaper fashion as we move forward now. We've made some significant commitments. We are vulnerable, or they're in the way that, we have questions that are unanswered in the bullpen as well as on the infield side. And you'd like to be able to be in a much more secure place, but those are the areas that we need to pay attention to and focus on as we move forward. But I don't think realistically that they'll be answered in any, a loud way. And loud would imply a lot of money, and I think that our spending has been significant, and I think the remaining aspect will be much lighter tone in terms of whatever we do as we move forward.
Brian, final quick question. We'll let you go. Part of Tanaka's deal has an opt-out after 4 years. They seem to be getting these deals with more frequency. How key was it to getting this done that you offered the opt-out, and how comfortable are you with him?
I didn't want to offer the opt-out, but it was, it wasn't included in our initial offer, but it was something that apparently was part of other offers that, if we wanted to continue to play in the market of Tanaka, we had to participate along those lines. So it was a decision we certainly talked about and faced, and then made the commitment to do so. We obviously needed to improve our starting pitching. He's the best starting pitcher in theory on the market, and so to step up, you have to do certain things, and that was one of the things that we needed to do.
Well, Brian, always appreciate the time. Thanks for being with us. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks. Take care, guys.